Aloha, ladies, and welcome to Women Unleashed Online Retreat, where we are helping you awaken your power, passion, and purpose to make 2016 your best year yet with some yummy, nourishing, fun, creative activities. And today we'll be doing some wild writing, not just writing, wild writing. So you get to experience that, and I'm really looking forward to introducing you to our guide today. But as you know, let's gather our stuff, get our stuff together. So today, materials, make sure you have your journal, that you have a pen, because we're going to be doing some writing today. Your beverage of choice. I am drinking Yoda today, and I've got some tea. Are you drinking something, Laurie?
No.
No, that's okay. So you could be drinking tea, wine, water. Water is always a good choice. But let's go ahead and start by just settling down a little bit. I don't know where you've come before you came here at this moment. But let's take our 3 deep breaths together, okay? So closing your eyes, sitting in a way that feels more comfortable for you. And let's first take our first deep breath in. And letting go of any distraction that came before this point. Imagine just leaving that behind as you exhale. We're going to take a second deep breath. And anything that is pulling at your thoughts in the future, imagine letting that go and exhaling. And our third deep breath, we're going to inhale and smell this moment, this space, this time together. Exhale. And when you're ready, opening your eyes, getting ready for some wild writing. I want to introduce our guide today, Laurie Wagner. So Laurie, she's been publishing books and essays. She's been teaching writing for the last 25 years, so we are in some wonderful hands here. She's a process guru, and she has this genius for holding space, helping people kind of unzip what's inside them, and then to get ink onto page, which I know sometimes is like that. The creative, like actually getting it from here onto here. There's this thing that can happen. So she's good at that. She's a creative brainstormer. She really specializes in out-of-box ways of thinking and out-of-box ways to tell your stories. So her wild writing classes are the cornerstone of her live work. She also teaches online, like she's doing with us today. And she's also the author of Living Happily Ever After, Couples Talk About Long-Term Love, and Expectations. 30 Women Talk About Becoming a Mother. So Laurie, thank you so much. I'm excited for you to join us, and I, pen in hand, have my journal. I'm so ready for what you've got for us today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to say a few words about what we're going to do today, and then we're just going to launch right in, because if anything, the more I do this work, the more I do all the creative work I do, I just want things to be accessible. I don't want us to have to struggle and figure out and orient ourselves. I just want access points. And that's what I love about wild writing. It just is like it kicks open a door and just allows you to go. So wild writing is a technique by which we're going to write as quickly as we can. I'm going to read a poem, and I'm going to read it twice. And when I read the poem to you, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to try to figure it out. In fact, close your eyes. Let me read the poem to you. And then let me read it one more time. And I'm going to give you a jump off line, a line to start with. And your job is just going to take that line and write as quickly as possible, pen never leaving the page. Write so quickly that you can't even believe it. Even if what you're writing is, oh my God, I forgot something's in the oven, or oh my God, it's later today, and then go back to the line. Like really, I want you to write as poorly as possible. And we write really, really quickly. We're going to do this for 10 minutes, because if we're writing really quickly, we bypass the part of us that always wants to get things right and always kind of wants to assemble ourselves, because we do that all day long, even unconsciously. So here's an opportunity to write as poorly as possible, to show up with bedhead, to show up really bad. And when we write really quickly, we're writing too quick for the editor and the ego and the critical mind to catch up. So two things. Write really, really quickly, pen never leaving the page, and just try to say something honest. Just try to tell the truth. And what's great about today is that nobody has to read this. You can write this and just like tuck it away. You can keep it. You can destroy it. It doesn't matter. You have an opportunity to actually lay down something authentic that no one might even read. And that's very special. You know, even just saying that energetically, I can feel like what a load, you know, off. Especially during the holidays, there's so much stress. So here's a free card for you, you know, a freebie. So one more thing, which is that when I read the poem and I give you the line, you don't have to write toward that line, like write a piece like you do for school. Just let the line instruct you. And if as you're writing, you get bored or tired, or you're like, what the hell am I doing? Just go back to the line and start over, okay? Let's give it a shot, and then we'll see how it goes. So I love this poem, this first one. It's called How to Pray by Annalise Gelman, How to Pray. And I will read it twice. Here we go, ladies. You're going to like it. Bless the unglamorous panties crusted with blood, the smear of lotion around the bottle's cap. Bless the discount bubble bath and the unrinsed robe of dead skin. House of Leaves back to back with Calvin and Hobbes, with Anne Frank's diary, with 101 wacky camping jokes, glasses smudged, pens uncapped. Bless the expired, unfinished to-do list, the crooked painting, flecks of spit on the bathroom mirror. Bless the ugly, the uncinematic. Let this be the year of the rough draft, of waking up with morning breath and no makeup, of calling our moms. Bless the razor I've used to shave my armpits for 3 weeks straight, the greasy stain on my winter coat. Bless the winter coat and its broken zipper and weird pointy hood. Bless the actual slug that once crawled from my bike helmet to my face in the pasta aisle. Bless that face then and now, your face, pimples and sweat and regrettable facial hair, the cheap pink plastic flower-shaped lamp salvaged from the dumpster and nailed to the wall, nonetheless glowing. I just love poems like this, right? It's just about our real, normal, ordinary lives, but finding always the sort of the light in the ordinary. So let me read it one more time to you. And as you're listening, I want you to pay attention to this. As you're listening to it, do you have a memory of something, or even like a deja vu of something far away or from yesterday? That's your creative unconscious like delivering you a little gift. So even if what I'm reading to you, you're listening and you like it, or you're thinking about something, if something gets delivered, go with that. Okay, let me read it one more time for you. How to Pray. Bless the unglamorous panties crusted with blood, the smear of lotion around the bottle's cap. Bless the discount bubble bath and the unrinsed robe of dead skin. House of Leaves back to back with Calvin and Hobbes and Anne Frank's diary with 101 camping jokes. Glasses smudged, pens uncapped. Bless the expired, unfinished to-do list, the crooked painting, flecks of spit on the bathroom mirror. Bless the ugly, the uncinematic. Let this be the year of the rough draft, of waking up with morning breath and no makeup, of calling our moms. Bless the razor I've used to shave my armpits for 3 weeks straight, the greasy stain on my winter coat. Bless the winter coat and its broken zipper and weird pointy hood. Bless the actual slug that once crawled from my bike helmet to my face in the pasta aisle. Bless that face then and now, your face, pimples and sweat and regrettable facial hair, the cheap pink plastic flower-shaped lamp salvaged from the dumpster and nailed to the wall, nonetheless glowing. Okay, so that's the poem. And I'm going to give you a couple possible jump-off lines. So what I want you to either, I like this one line. Let this be the year of the rough draft. Let this be the year of the rough draft. And you can use that line and start with it. Let this be the year of the, let this be the year of the, and you can just keep using that line over and over and just keep moving. And if you get pulled into something, go. Let this be the year of the, let this be the year of the, okay? All right, let's start. We're gonna write for 10 minutes. Again, just write as quickly as you can. Let this be the year of the, and if you get bored or tired, I want you to just go back to the front line and start again, okay? All right, we're gonna write for 10 minutes. Talk to you in about 10. Just a couple minutes. And start to finish up. And okay, you can just stop where you are. It's kind of a scramble, right? It's like, ah. And really, you know, that's the energy we want, because what we're doing is we're just getting a lot of ink on the page, and beautiful, beautiful writing comes from it. But mostly, you know, most of the time we sit down to write, we're so in our heads that we don't end up really just channeling. And this is just the getting ink on the page part. Editing, turning something into a piece comes later, but that's not this. This is just, you know. So generally what we do at home, when I teach this at home, and I also teach it on a video platform, we would go around and read at this point. Everyone would read their work, and we don't say anything, we don't critique, we just hold the space, and everyone reads, and then we do it again. So would you like to read? Yeah. Amber, would you like to read? If you'd like. We don't have to. Okay.
I'll read.
Okay, good.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to read the whole thing or just part?
No, read the whole thing.
Okay. Let this be the year of the wild woman. Hairy and messy. She's primal in nature and stained, but muddiness is her thing. She doesn't give a shit because she isn't civilized and knows how to eat with a fork or knife or keep her elbows off the table. She'd willingly eat it once it fell to the floor. No 3-second rule here. She's about her. It isn't about the pack or making nice. No Barbie houses or dresses or glamour. She's rough, nails dirty, chipped. No gloss here. She walks barefoot and lets the dirt be her communion with Mother Earth. Feels the heartbeat up her feet into her body. Her own beat. Breath, blood, bones. A distant connection with the wild woman before her. Before the bras and camisoles, petticoats. Before the coverings of shame and guilt. Her coverings then were only a choice of what felt good and warm. She'd spend time alone listening, watching the fire or clouds pass by with no rushing here and there. She honored her rhythms, the moon and her pool, because she could feel it. The waters of her body pulled like the tides, her inner rhythms keeping her beat. She lived in openness and receptivity to what felt good. She just didn't care if it meant being out of relation with herself. She could tap into the deep, dark, damp cave and find the quiet stillness so comforting. Once I went to the very back of a lava cave, and at the very back turned off my light, the blackest black ever. It was so comforting, like a womb without the beat of mother, only my own heartbeat.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. You're so brave. I love that. So let's do it again. It's wonderful. Let's do it again. And I have so many poems that I love, so I just picked a few today that I thought we would really like. I love this poem. It's called Coconut by a man named Paul Hostovsky. Paul Hostovsky, Coconut. Okay. Bear with me. I want to tell you something about happiness. It's hard to get at, but the thing is, I wasn't looking. I was looking somewhere else when my son found it in the fruit section and came running, holding it out in his small hands, asking me what it was and could we keep it. It only cost 99 cents and brown and hard as a rock and something swishing around inside. And what on earth and where on earth? And this was happiness, this little ball of interest beating inside his chest, this interestedness beaming out from his face, pleading happiness. And because I wasn't happy, I said to put it down because we didn't need it. And because he was happy, he started to cry right there in aisle 5. So when we got home, we put it in the middle of the kitchen table and sat on either side of it and began to consider how to get inside of it. Let me read it one more time. Coconut. I think this is a piece that parents can completely relate to. Coconut. Bear with me. I want to tell you something about happiness. It's hard to get at, but the thing is, I wasn't looking for it. I was looking somewhere else when my son found it in the fruit section and came running, holding it out in his small hands, asking me what it was and could we keep it, and it only cost 99 cents. Hairy and brown, hard as a rock, and something swishing around inside, and what on earth and where on earth? And this was happiness, this little ball of interest beating inside his chest, this interestedness beaming out from his face, pleading happiness. And because I wasn't happy, I said to put it back because I didn't want it, because we didn't need it. And because he was happy, he started to cry right there in aisle 5. So when we got home, we put it in the middle of the kitchen table and sat on either side of it and began to consider how to get inside of it. I just love it. So the jump off line is, I want to tell you something about. And you can use your own line at this point. You can use this. I want to tell you something about family, or I want to tell you something about the holidays, or I want to tell you something about sadness, or I want to tell you something about happiness. Okay? You can choose whatever you want. I want to tell you something about, and you can write that line and you can keep changing it. And again, if you get pulled into something, just go with it. And just, again, I just want you to write as poorly as possible. Like nobody's going to read it, you know. Amber and I might read, but you don't have to. I want to tell you something about, boom, and go, okay? So let's use that. And I'll talk to you in about 10 minutes. Just a couple minutes. And just start to finish up. And you can always pick it up again. Great. So I know, usually we do about 3 poems in a session. So what do you think? Should I read a poem or should we just say goodbye? End our section. What should we do?
Let's go ahead and let's do another poem, but maybe only have like a shorter writing section, like maybe 5 minutes.
Okay, great. Okay. Let's do one more poem. I think you're getting the idea. And we do 3 just to kind of keep moving, keep it moving. We're less concerned with writing well and more just focused on getting the words out of us. So this is one of my very favorite poems and favorite poets. Her name is Ellen Bass. And I'll read it to you. I'll read it to you twice, and then we'll just have a couple minutes, and then we'll call it a day, okay? It's called If You Knew by Ellen Bass. What if you knew that you'd be the last person to touch someone? If you were taking tickets, for example, at the theater, tearing them, giving back the ragged stubs, you might take care to touch the palm, brush your fingertips along the lifeline's crease. When a man pulls his wheeled suitcase too slowly through the airport, when the car in front of me doesn't signal, when the clerk at the pharmacy won't say thank you, I don't remember they're gonna die. A friend told me she'd just been with her aunt. They just had lunch, and the waiter, a young gay man with plum black eyes, joked as he served the coffee, kissed her aunt's powdered cheek when they left. Then they walked half a block and her aunt dropped dead on the sidewalk. How close does the dragon's spume have to come? How wide does the crack in heaven have to split? What would people look like if we could see them as they are, soaked in honey, stung and swollen, reckless, pinned against time? Let me read it one more time. If you knew. What if you knew you'd be the last to touch someone? If you were taking tickets, for example, at the theater, tearing them, giving back the ragged stubs, you might take care to touch that palm, brush your fingertips along the lifeline's crease. When a man pulls his wheeled suitcase too slowly through the airport, when the car in front of me doesn't signal, when the clerk at the pharmacy won't say thank you, I don't remember they're gonna die. A friend told me she'd been with her aunt. They just had lunch, and the waiter, a young gay man with plum black eyes, joked as he served the coffee, kissed her aunt's powdered cheek when they left. Then they walked half a block, and her aunt dropped dead on the sidewalk. How close does the dragon's spume have to come? How wide does the crack in heaven have to split? What would people look like if we could see them as they are, soaked in honey, stung and swollen, reckless, pinned against time? I'm just in love with Ellen Bass. All her poems are praise poems. They're just poems about appreciation. And of course, that's the name of the game. So I think we'll just do 5 minutes and let this be your last writing. And I'd like you to use the line, what if you knew? What if you knew? And if you don't want to use that line, you can use a line that I often use here at home. And you can use this line anytime. And the line is this, what I really need you to know, what I really need you to know, okay? What I really need you to know. We'll just write for 5 minutes, what I really need you to know. Okay, go ahead. Just a couple minutes. And start to finish up. Ah, that's wild writing, right? We just like, we unzip, we unleash. We're not thinking about it. We're going to take a jump off line. We're going to write as quickly as we can. And you can do that anytime you want. You can get up in the morning and you can pick a poem, or you can use a line like what I want you to know, or here are 3 things I need you to know, and just start. 10 minutes, boom, it's done. That's wild writing.
I love the wild writing. I remember after the first one, I felt like kind of teary, and so my heart felt so full because I'm like, this is so yummy. I'm so grateful to be writing just in that way, instead of like, I do business writing all the time, and I have to tell you, it's really good just to let myself flow. Thank you, Laurie.
My pleasure. It's a wonderful, wonderful technique. I'm glad to share it with you. Thank you for having me.
Yay! So this is just the beginning. You've got goodies for our people who want to continue this creative process. Can you share?
Sure. I've got a website. I've got a lot of things I do. I do the wild writing on a video platform with women all over the country, and I have some spots open in January, but people should check soon because there are only a few. But I also have some online classes. But the thing that I want to share today is 27 days, which is a really easy program I have that I think you're going to give away, right? It's a gift to everyone.
Why don't you share it, and then they can click right below here and they can access it.
Great. So this is a gift just to get started, and it's wonderful in the holidays. And basically, when you click, you're going to get 27 writing prompts, 1 a day, delivered to your inbox. Just a little something, just really sweet, really simple. And if all you did was take that and for 5 or 10 minutes every day, use that writing prompt and tucked it away, you'd have 27 days of writing prompts. So that's just from me to you, and a way to get your practice started really simply.
Yay! All right, writers, let's let this creativity flow. So go ahead, click the link below. I love that it's 27 days. That's a moon cycle right there. It's perfect. So wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Laurie. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. So nice to share it with you guys.
Women, I would love for you, if you feel called, to click on the link and share in the Facebook group. You can share a piece of your writing or even the whole thing if you want to be brave and go there. We'd love to read and just to witness you. yeah, and in your creative process. So feel free to do that, and I will be in the Facebook group so we can see you there. And other than that, we will see you later. Sending much aloha, and thank you again, Laurie. Mwah.
Bye. Thanks, Amber.